Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very honored to be invited to come here to say a few words. Unlike you, I do not have any religious belief. So I'm not going to talk about religion. I am just going to share Singapore's experience to work towards religious harmony. Religious harmony is of fundamental importance to Singapore. Singapore has only a population of 5 million plus, but we have many faiths amongst our people. In terms of race, we are 75% Chinese, about 16% Malay, 8% Indian, and some other minority races. Our Malays are nearly 100% Muslim. Some of our Indian Singaporeans are also Muslim. Amongst the Chinese population, there is a mixture of Buddhists, Taoists, some mix between Taoists and Buddhists, because Chinese culture really comprises three parts: Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. Most of our Indians here are Hindus. So as you can see, if we do not have harmony, foundation of Singapore is going to be shaken in a very fundamental way. Luckily, we have very wise religious and secular leaders who promulgated religious harmony right from day one. We start off with this gentleman, His Eminence Maulana Abdul Halim Siddique. He founded Singapore's Inter-Religious Organization way back in 1949. He said, if it was ever necessary to create harmony amongst leaders and followers of different religions, it is more necessary and more urgent today when the world is living in fear of Third World War. With this very idea, the Inter-Religious Organization was founded. That was way back in 1949. Inter-Religious Organization, IRO, have now been expanded to include representatives of 10 faiths. They are Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Hinduism, Taoism, Baha'ism, Jainism, Zoroastrianism, and the last one is, I always miss out the last one. Let me try again. Judaism. Forgotten about Judaism. So 10. Amongst these 10, it more or less encompasses nearly everybody with faith in Singapore, and they are all there. I remember, in Singapore, all of us have got to serve national service. When I was being commissioned as an officer, in the commissioning ceremony, we have got IRO representatives up there on stage. One by one, say out loud their wishes for the officers who have just graduated. I mean, to stand there and listen, it was a little bit stressful in the hot sun. Luckily, I was younger then. But after everything is over, we feel that we are blessed by so many faith. So if we go to the battlefield, enemy's bullet will not hit us. Well, we really felt that way. Luckily, we didn't have to go to the battlefield. But if we go, we are blessed by all the faith. In Singapore, religion and politics does not mix, and it was very strict government policy. Religions are all forces for good. All the faiths advocate humanity, advocate being kind to each other, kind to fellow human beings, kind to your family, to everybody. No religion will say we have got to fight each other, kill each other. No. Because if great religion can be around thousands of years since it's founded, they must have advocated something good. Because forces of good always defeat forces of bad. I can advocate something bad. Within 5-10 years, I know I'll be gone. In Singapore, sometimes they are gone straight away. Because we have got very, very strict and strong law against anybody who wants to exploit religion to create division, to create disharmony. On one extreme, we have our national security law called Internal Security Act, where people can be detained without trial. You may say, why should we not expose them in the court of law? The problem is this. People who want to abuse religion to create problems, they have got an organization behind them. To testify against organizations like this, we cannot find witnesses to attend court. But of course, sometimes the attempt to create disharmony is not as serious as that. Sometimes it's just somebody who become a little bit careless, or sometimes because somebody who preach gets a little bit carried away and therefore joke about other religions. Here, if we are preaching, we can say that my religion is good. You cannot say that others is bad. You say others is bad, and if you are reported, you'll be asked to stop. If you refuse to stop, something more serious is going to happen. And we do this regardless of who is doing it. We are colorblind, religion blind, when we enforce laws like this. And everybody knows it. And as a result, nobody tries to test the government's resolve. Well, we have got to realize that to advocate religious harmony, we need wise men like Maulana Abdul Halim Siddiq. But not everybody is as wise. Somebody who tries to abuse the system, we have got to deal with them sometimes in not so friendly way. If that is what they ask for, it cannot be helped. In Singapore, politics is circular. So all our political parties are multi-religious, multiracial. And our religious harmony from time to time has been tested. And one major test came after 9/11. Remember September the 11th, 2001, the attack on the Twin Tower that sparked off one whole series of war as well as anti-terrorism operations. Government at that time was very concerned that some of our communities may be falsely accused by others because of that association. And because of this, in year 2002, Prime Minister appointed me to try to work out with the various religious groups what we call Religious Harmony Code. Code. He chose me. I do not know why. He chose somebody who has got no religion at all. But he knows that I respect all religions. The fact that I do not have any religion does not mean that I cannot respect all the major religions. And what I did was I go to my members of parliament colleagues, and I identified one Christian, one Buddhist, one Taoist, one Hindu, one Muslim, well, one of each faith, to come to my committee. So all the major religions are represented in my committee. As I've said, in Singapore, politics is secular. So our parliament has got people of all faiths, all races. We sat together and we started to visit our religious organizations in Singapore, one by one, of all religious faiths, starting, of course, with IRO. We asked them, what are the major issues? What are their major areas of concern? First meeting was just brainstorming. We basically just sit down and talk. Everybody share their feelings openly. Then we went back. Amongst a few of us, we put up a draft. We cannot just discuss and discuss and discuss. No code will come out. But as we were discussing, it became clear to us that what is needed is not a code. Code is like code of conduct. It's supposed to be used to govern people. We feel that all our religious groups in Singapore are for religious harmony. There's no need to go for a code, but what we need is a new declaration by everybody that we still believe in what we believe, despite what happened in 2001. So we put up a draft, and then we went back to all the religious groups that we have visited one by one. We debated over the wording, we exchanged views, and after about 6-7 months of deliberation, we came up with something like this, which we call a declaration. Maybe I read to you. We, the people in Singapore, not the people of Singapore, but the people in Singapore, everybody, whether citizens or permanent residents or just social visit pass holders, we declare that religious harmony is vital for peace, progress, and prosperity in our multiracial and multi-religious nation. We declare that as a cornerstone. We resolve to strengthen religious harmony through mutual tolerance. Tolerance is the basic level. Then respect. Tolerance, confidence, respect, and understanding. Tolerance only means that, look, I try to tolerate you. You try to tolerate me. Let's not scold each other. But if we got confidence, we respect each other, we hope to achieve understanding. Maybe the understanding that we have got some very, very common areas that all of us believe in. We may come from different traditions, but we believe in certain core values. And then we say, we shall always recognize the secular nature of our state. So politics is secular. We re-emphasized it, which means all religions are equal in the eyes of the law. We promote cohesion within our society. I mean, in the context of the secular nature of the society, it means we promote cohesion amongst people from different faiths and different racial groups. We shall respect each other's freedom of religion. We also respect people who have got no religion. We want to grow our common space while reflecting our diversity, which means we have got certain common values, but we do not try to convert others so that they look like us. Important thing is common values, common space. The fact that we dress differently, we use different holy books, it doesn't matter. There are things that are common. Let's look for things that are common. We shall foster inter-religious communications. It is not enough just to respect, understand each other. We must interact with each other. We have got one organization that organizes a dinner of all faith. By the way, it's a vegetarian dinner, because vegetarian is okay for all faith. And they make a point to invite all foreign embassies to come and join us. And one of the diplomats sitting next to me, he says, I'm so amazed that you've got people from different religions get together to have dinner. In my country, we even have problem talking to each other, not to talk about sitting down and have a meal. Well, for most cultures, to be able to sit down and have a meal is an expression of friendship. So we make it a point that we will have this meal together. And finally, we thereby want to ensure that religion will not be abused to create conflict and disharmony in Singapore. Note the word abused. Religion do not advocate conflict. Religions do not advocate disharmony. It is some people who abuse religion as an excuse to promote these values. And as I've said, this is a declaration of all major religious faiths. If anybody want to try to make use of religion to create conflict and disharmony in Singapore, as I've said, we have got strong laws to deal with them. And when we administer those laws, it is like the statue outside, the British Old Bailey. It features a goddess, one hand holding a sword, the other hand holding a balance. And she is wearing a mask. I don't care who you are. So long as you commit crime, you get this one. Religious harmony has come a long way in Singapore, but it is always work in progress. Day to day, there are instances that could have given rise to misunderstanding, and therefore, we created grassroots organizations in every constituencies, comprising ordinary people. And the grassroots organizations is coordinated by a government agency called People's Association. And amongst People's Association, they have been given this mandate to ensure racial and religious harmony, to build up social cohesion within the community. These are work done by ordinary people. And after this declaration was made public, we created an additional grassroots organization called Inter-Religious Harmony Circle. The job of the IRHC, Inter-Religious Harmony Circle, is to foster interaction between people and organizations of different faiths. So we organize people from different communities to visit mosques, to visit Hindu temple, to visit Buddhist temple, Taoist temple, visit churches, and have the religious leaders to come out to meet with them and explain their faith tradition. Of course, a visit like this will not instantly make everybody experts in the various faiths, but the gesture of visiting each other reinforces the belief that we have to work hard to reach out to each other. When we have celebrations, traditional celebrations, very often we find in the grassroots a multi-religious, multi-faith crowd. We just celebrated the Mooncake Festival. Okay, we distributed mooncake to people of different races, and we make it a point that some of the mooncake are halal, some are vegetarian, but we want everybody to celebrate. The Chinese also have this festival called the Rice Dumpling Festival. And we teach residents to make rice dumpling. And one unforgettable experience is in one of the activities, we make it a point to separate the groups because, Muslims cannot touch lard, Chinese love their dumplings to have pork. Okay? So after making it, the Malay residents came over to offer the dumpling that they made to the Chinese resident. Say, I cannot eat your thing, but you can eat mine. Oh, during the debrief, the Chinese community were totally embarrassed. Look, they've got something to give us, got nothing to give back. How can? As a result, next year, they divided the Chinese group into vegetarian dumpling, ordinary dumpling. So when the Malays offer their mutton dumpling, they offer the vegetarian dumpling. So that everybody can enjoy, can interact. Small things like this makes a difference. People care to adjust in order that everybody can celebrate. Interreligious organization. By the way, we also make sure that this declaration was translated into 4 languages. All our 4 official languages. There's a Chinese version, a Tamil version, and a Malay version. While working on the Malay version, we of course consulted some of our religious scholars in Islam. So one of them suddenly said, actually, I don't think we need this declaration. So I said, what? He says, look, we Muslims believe that Islam is a perfect way of life. So actually, from that perspective, there's no need to have this declaration. But if you want to have this declaration, you know, there's this thing called, try to expand the common space. And you use membesarkan. Say, membesarkan, no good. You become big, people become small. Why don't you change it to meluaskan? See, meluaskan is like a flower blooming. When a flower blooms, it looks nice, but it doesn't affect others. Well, that made my day. Because although he feels that from a strictly religious point of view, there is no need to have this declaration, but he feels that since majority want to have this declaration, we can, but let's adjust the word so as not to create misunderstanding. Meanwhile, IRO has gone a long way. They meet regularly. They now have a permanent office. They used to be host. They take turn to be chairman lah. And then whoever is the chairman provide the office. I believe now they got a permanent office. And when they meet, they also say this prayer together, regardless of religion. He says, "Oh Lord, increase in us understanding and knowledge, and set us free from the bondage of greed, hatred, and ignorance, so that we may awake, arise, and advance until the goal is reached, giving our bodies to work and our minds to the Lord. May we work vigorously, keeping within spiritual discipline, to bring peace in our hearts, peace in our families, peace in our cities, peace in our planetary home, the world. May we learn to master ourselves, sublimate our combative energies into creative channels. If you've got energy, don't fight, create. And freely offer ourselves in the service of our fellow men and our Lord. Help us, O Lord, to ever strive to keep on these lines, to promote peace on earth and goodwill amongst men. I suppose include women, By thy grace, may we all prosper. This is a prayer, religious neutral, I believe, but emphasizing on common space of peace, common space of prosperity, treating the families, friends, and all fellow human beings the same. As I've said, religious harmony is a work in progress anywhere in the world. And IRO is wise enough to, at every meeting, remind themselves this is their mission. May all of us always remind ourselves what our missions are, and together we'll build a better world together. Thank you very much.